Hi. Welcome to the Void. The original Void. What?
Nothing. So we're going to talk about the battle for the third best Arnold dystopian sci-fi thriller.
Mostly just because I wanted to talk about Arnold Schwarzenegger.
We just wanted to watch a couple of badass Arnold movies, I think.
Yeah. I mean, these are like immensely better movies than most of the things or any of the things that we've done.
That's true. They're higher quality.
And they're entertaining pretty much all the way through. And,
Yeah.
you know, well done and cool and good stories.
And awesome. Yeah, they're classics. Can't watch these too many times. Obviously, Terminator 1 and 2 are going to be number 1 and 2 on the list of Arnold sci-fi dystopian thrillers.
Mm-hmm.
But
Predator doesn't quite fit because it's not dystopian,
right,
really.
Yeah, it's not a dystopian future, or yeah.
Though still one of our favorite movies ever.
You can't go wrong with Predator.
I mean, no.
But between these two, I'm Team Running Man.
Mm-hmm.
Killian, I'll be back. Only in a rerun.
Your Team Total Recall.
One of my favorite movies ever made.
Yeah.
Ever. It's true.
It is a fantastic movie. It really is. It's
Top
like peak Arnold. Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
Yes. It's Rob Bottin, that's why. Rob Bottin made the things I love the most.
Like
The Thing.
The Thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, we're way ahead of ourselves
We
anyway,
are.
because we're going to talk about
We're going to talk about both these movies.
all of that stuff.
Yes.
All of the good stuff. But first,
Hold it right in front of your face.
I'm
That's
gonna-
how it's in focus.
I'm going to share this horrible thing I made a bunch of years ago. I think when we were still living in Portland, I made this. Because for a while, I like to make things that just made me laugh for no reason, which is actually one of the reasons we're doing this show.
That's true.
But I made a Total Recall and Junior and also Twins mashup. And here it is. That's Danny DeVito
Yeah.
as the Thing, Quado.
As Quado. Which would have been a much more... I don't know if interesting is the right word. It would have been different.
Oh man.
If it was just Danny DeVito, his head and arms sticking out of a giant rubber torso, being Danny DeVito.
Like the couch scene in It's Always Sunny.
Yeah, that's true.
When he gets like birthed out of the couch and he's all sweaty and naked and runs away. Anyway, it's a great illustration.
If I do say so myself.
Well, it's funny.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So, first up, we're going to talk about The Running Man, I suppose. Chronologically, it was released earlier in 1987, directed by Paul Michael Glaser.
Okay.
I think that's how you say his name.
Probably.
It's one S and not two, so it's not Glaser.
Yeah.
Director of Something's Got to Give with Jack Nicholson, Kazam with Shaquille O'Neal.
Have we ever watched that?
I've never seen it.
I've never seen it either.
I
I
think
guess we have not watched it.
we have not watched it.
Wow, I cracked the case wide open.
Double Impact with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Mm.
I think that's the one where he's twins. Or is that the one with Dennis Rodman? Give me a second.
Oh no. Our last long format got all janky, so we didn't have one for July, which we are sad about.
Yeah, it's coming in August, even though in the episode we'll talk about how it's July
Yeah,
and very smoky from the Canadian wildfires.
yes. Which apparently just comes and goes now forever,
Yeah.
so whatever. But
It's part of our bleak and depressing reality. And
yeah, we're all dying.
this
Horrible.
dystopian future that we live in.
Yes. It's getting there real fast.
Every time I watch this movie in the past, I've seen in the credits that it was based on a novel by Richard Bachman, which I didn't know until recently, I guess, that's a pen name of Stephen King.
Yeah.
So technically this is a Stephen King movie that Arnold...
Why even have a pen name at that point?
I don't know. I've read a couple of Richard Bachman books and they are exactly like Stephen King books, so I don't know what the deal was with it.
Wonder if it was a weird tax thing or something.
Maybe it was with a different
Publisher
or something like that.
I don't really know much about the literary world.
Or maybe he put on an emo wig and guy liner, and it was like his Chris Gaines alter ego.
Ew. That hair.
Richard Bachman.
Bad boy of the literary world.
I discovered that if you would like to find a copy of this book that says Richard Bachman on the cover, like one of the original releases, it's prepared to spend like $150 or so.
Oh geez.
But you can find it on Amazon with Stephen King on the cover for $7.
What?
Yeah.
What's the point? Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
That's weird.
It's just older and is being released under Stephen King now instead of Richard Bachman. So.
Huh, interesting.
Screenplay by Stephen E. D'Souza.
Okay.
He wrote Die Hard 1 and 2, Beverly Hills Cop, Commando, whole bunch of 80s hits. Like, you can thank Steve D'Souza for a lot of the 80s, I think.
All of our 80s nostalgia action films. Yeah. Which this is no different, though I feel like this movie doesn't really get the recognition that it should. I don't think it was as a big hit for him at the time, especially.
Even today, like, if you were going to think about Arnold movies, you're going to bring up Arnold movies, you're probably bringing up Terminator, Predator, Total Recall.
Yeah.
You don't really go to Running Man.
No.
But when I was a kid, I rented Running Man more than I did any other of his movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I love Running Man. I still do. I think it's a fantastic movie. It works like a video game in that he's like navigating increasingly harder levels in order to get to increasingly harder enemies.
Yeah. I love the lighting in this movie, actually.
Yeah, the cinematography is pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, they tended to be in Arnold movies anyway, but...
True. But I don't know, it was like off-putting and pretty dark, but you can still see everything well, which is like a complaint that I have these days, where everything is so fucking dark and you can't see anything.
It's
I'm sick of it.
I think people are so excited about how well cameras can shoot in low light now that they're like, let's make a movie without any lights at all.
Knock it off.
Yeah, stop it. It's
we don't like it.
It's really annoying. You're like, I just want to see
what's going on.
The person.
I just want to see what's happening.
Yeah.
Quit doing that, filmmakers.
Yes. Is this a slasher that's not a slasher? Probably not. Not in the sense that like Jaws is considered a slasher that's not a slasher, but I think you could make the case that Arnold himself is the slasher in this movie because he's just killing everybody.
I think you're just trying to turn it into a horror movie.
He's
in
like,
your head.
He sticks a pen in that guy's back.
Here, use my back, victim.
It almost woke the wife up. Ah! I love you. Yes.
Don't forget to send me a copy.
You can take that to the bank.
Yes.
It's a check with a pen sticking on it.
Oh, yes. A little throwback to the Steven Seagal episode we did.
I'm going to take you to the bank, Senator Trent. To the blood bank.
The blood bank. Co-starring Maria Conchita Alonso. You'll recognize her from Predator 2. The Christopher Walken-led McBain. Remember that piece of shit? And,
we should do that movie.
Yeah. And more importantly, Vampire's Kiss. She plays his secretary in that movie.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, man. We should do that movie, too.
We should.
much to your chagrin.
Well, yeah, that means I have to watch that movie yet again.
What the hell? You love that movie.
Richard Dawson hosts a family feud throughout the 80s and 90s. Survey says,
I think it's weird he did this movie
yeah.
because he did such a good job acting like a piece of shit.
Whoa! Oh, sorry.
Hey, that's all right. What's your name?
Dan.
Dan, you're doing good work. Looks beautiful. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
Brenda, if that asshole is mopping the floor tomorrow, you'll be mopping it for the rest of the week. Let's go.
He really did.
And
He
it's
had
like-
like those pinky.
Oh my god, the pinky
Yeah.
up things. I wanted to just like reach through the screen and snap his pinkies off and be like, stop it. Tape them down around.
Snap your pinkies, motherfucker!
I hated it. I don't know why. I think he was also like wearing pinky rings, and
He
that's
was.
just like the mark of a douche.
Yeah,
Anyway, but he did like such a good job
he did.
playing that despicable, awful character. And it's just like, but aren't you like supposed to be a lovable game show host? But man, you really like came off a little too well
Yeah.
in this role.
Yafat Kodo co-stars as well. He's the black guy that's with them.
Hmm.
You recognize him from Nightmare on Elm Street Part 6.
Oh right.
He kind of,
Oh, he's like the doctor. Well, he's not. He's like, is he a doctor?
I don't know what he is. He has
He's
a
like
locker full of throwing stars for some reason.
Psychologist
Yeah.
ninja at the school for downtrodden children. I don't know what a great
The
movie.
Institute for People Next to Elm Street.
What a great movie.
Speaking of Nightmare on Elm Street, Linda Shay makes a short appearance in this.
Hmm.
Good. Love that uniform. Tony, what do you got for me?
Damon, thank God, the Justice Department.
Also, Charlie's mom
Fuck yeah.
from You Can't... Nope. No, you can't do that on television. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
What the hell?
Lynn Marie Stewart is her name.
And Pee-wee.
Yeah, she did a lot of stuff at
Yeah.
the...
And she was dressed like she walked right out of a Pee-wee's Playhouse episode. She had like a polyester zip-up cardigan on with like cactus and
Yeah.
cowboys embroidered on it. I want that thing, actually. I'd wear that.
Some interesting tidbits. A little trivia.
Go for it.
It was originally... They had casted originally Christopher Reeve as the part of Ben... What's his name? Arnold's part.
Ben, what's his name? God.
The part that Arnold played.
Even the most basic things.
I forgot to write his character name down. Paula Abdul choreographed all the dance scenes that happened in the beginning of
Yeah,
the
she should have
show.
been in it. Why wasn't she in it?
I don't know.
That would have been fine.
Yeah. $27 million budget, $38 million at the box office. Made a little bit of money.
Hmm.
66% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I didn't do any of that.
Yeah.
Jesse Ventura.
Jesse Ventura with a toupee.
Yep.
Are you ready for pain? Are you ready for suffering? If the answer is yes, then you're ready for Captain Freedom's workout.
Yes, it's America's own.
Arnold runs like Mr. Bean.
Go! Don't be a robot! Electric, go! Richard!
Hey!
Is that it? Are you done?
I'm done with all the stuff I wrote down. Now we can talk about the movie.
Okay. Good, because I was like, well, we got to talk about the Iron Chefs that they released.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just like struck me today when we were watching it, and I'm like, this just reminds me of Iron Chef right now. Professor
Sub-Zero.
Sub-Zero. I want to know what he's a professor of.
Yeah.
Chopping gongs in half.
Dynamo.
Oh. That guy, he's dead, whatever his name is, but he was creepy. That guy creeped me out.
I would pay good money for a Dynamo action figure.
Yeah. Plates
NECA,
up.
if you're watching, I really would.
I'm sure they'll get right on it.
Yeah.
Buzzsaw.
Buzzsaw.
And that one guy who's always silent in every movie that's like Arnold's buddy.
Oh yeah, he plays
I think he's Swedish.
the guard,
Yeah,
the bodyguard.
yeah.
There's one line that you cannot understand. at all.
Always. Every movie he has.
It says something about steroids.
I got to score some steroids.
Yeah, unless he's in like a low budget movie. He
Mhm.
talks more in those. But he was in Mallrats too.
Was he really?
As LaFleur's the mall cop.
Nice.
Yeah,
Oh, God, I haven't seen that movie in years.
yeah. I used to like it when I was a teen.
So,
Teen.
a little synopsis of the plot. It's 2017 when the movie
2019. Okay.
when the movie opens. It's 2017. The world economy has collapsed. We're told people are getting violent for basic needs, food and
Get
shelter.
violent for food.
Yeah. Arnold's
Stab you for a rat burger.
Yep, that's Demolition Man, but probably.
Well, I didn't mean it to be like that. It just meant rats should be sort of plentiful.
Probably.
Unless... Wasn't there like a period of time for us, maybe it was like during the Great Depression or something, where people were just killing all the squirrels and deer
I'm
and
sure.
a bunch of things like almost went extinct because everyone was just starving and they ate all the vermin essentially. I'm just saying.
I'll take your word for it. It sounds like something that people would do.
Yeah,
I think we would do it if we were in that situation.
yeah. I hear raccoon meat's pretty greasy.
So pretty tasty then.
I don't know. Maybe it's like cooking a duck. You
I
gotta
don't know.
render all the trash fat off
Yeah,
of them.
raccoons eat literally everything. I don't
Awful
think
stuff.
I could eat a raccoon.
Maybe out in the woods where they just eat whatever the hell they eat in the woods.
Yeah.
I don't know. I digress.
Yes, you do.
Rat burgers. Oh yeah, you're right. I remember that now.
Yeah, Demolition Man.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Taco Bell. Okay.
Dennis Leary.
Sorry.
Arnold's a policeman for the fascist regime. He's flying a helicopter.
Which made you comment, like, isn't he used to this shit yet?
Yeah, it's weird
Like-
that he's like super compassionate about. He gets orders like there's nobody armed down there. You know, they're
Take
looking
'em
for
all
food,
out,
and
yeah.
he gets the order like, okay, take them out, and he's like, these people are hungry.
Yeah, and it's just like, isn't this what you do every
That sounded
day?
more like Dracula.
Oh.
These people are hungry.
Blah, blah. Well, you can't help it.
Yeah.
You're super Romanian.
Of course, this gets him in a lot of trouble. He doesn't suppress the people.
Yeah. He beats everyone up on the airplane.
Yeah, and then they beat him up.
Yeah. And then he gives the
Then he goes to prison.
mining
to labor prison.
prison.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know, just like in Indiana Jones, they're just like mining for whatever. Nothing.
Yeah, just generally mining.
Just general mining.
They're discovery miners. Like, let's see what's in here.
If there's shiny stuff, we want it. That's it.
If it shines, it's mine.
Yeah. 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 Exactly. Hey,
Yeah.
you know, we're idiots.
It's true.
Humans, that is.
He escapes. He goes to his brother's apartment, hooks up with Maria Conchita Alonso, gets arrested at the airport after he gets punched in the dick and goes, oh!
Yes, a tiny net is a death sentence. It's a net and it's tiny.
He's been arrested and he finds himself in forced participation of this game. The fascist regime runs the all the television, all the media. This is a game show that they put on where people fight for their lives.
And this show like reminds me of those really cruel prank shows
Yeah.
where people just like unwilling participants, just random people off the street get pranked super hard.
I was never a fan of that.
I don't like
yeah.
those either. I saw one the other day, like on a short on YouTube or something. I think it was a Japanese one. This actually happened. This was a thing that somebody decided was a good idea. People got into an elevator.
I've seen that.
And then
yeah.
bottom of it falls out, and the
Yeah.
people just fall down like into a slide.
They think they're about to fall down this elevator shaft.
I would sue the fuck out of, and I don't even like that sort of, but fuck you. Like,
I
that's
agree.
like an extreme fear for some people. Like,
Yeah.
what if they're just like fucked up for the rest of their lives now?
The PTSD, they
Dude, that
have a
is-
heart attack or a stroke, yeah.
Really, truly a horrible thing that is not good fun at all.
I agree.
Okay. So anyway, that's what this show reminds me of.
Yeah.
Shows that currently exist.
Prisoners, well, not quite, because we don't have any shows yet of prisoners being
I mean, just
forced to compete for their very lives.
Cruelness.
Yeah.
Cruelness is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
People like choose the,
The stalker, they're called.
is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Okay. That they want to like match up against the Arnold character, and apparently it's like you only ever really need one.
Yeah.
They've never had like a death.
Right, because I
of one of
mean,
these guys on the
these
show.
prisoners will have to ride down that super fast roller coaster thing
Yeah, which
with
is
all
awful.
the flashing lights. Everybody's super disoriented and terrified. So yeah, people really wouldn't have a chance against a murderous psychopath armed to the teeth.
Who's like done it a bunch of times before.
Yeah.
Or you know, it kind of also reminds me of American Gladiators too. Man, I used
Yeah.
to love that show.
We have a movie with Malibu as the lead
Oh yeah,
that we need to talk about at some point.
we will do. Yeah, maybe next month.
Yeah.
We should just do it because what a great movie.
Party.
Take pig breath.
Party's over.
Why don't you back off?
Well, ain't you a big one?
Big enough.
That ain't no shit, huh, Johnny?
That's a bad move, pal.
And the hair.
Oh god.
He is not good. He makes really hilarious paintings now, though.
Yeah. Oh, poor Malibu. Yeah, I think as a dystopian dark tale, you know, I think this one hits harder for me than Total Recall does because of the themes of like, you know, cruelty, like you were saying, for entertainment's sake, capitalism run amok, run awry. I guess.
We were talking about the audience and how it's like weird that they're a bunch of old people.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh well, I don't know. What? I don't know. You'll probably cut it out anyway.
There's a certain political party who's probably more apt to
Wanting to see people just get slaughtered.
prisoners.
Prisoners getting slaughtered.
Yeah.
Like, don't spend my tax dollars on these people being alive and such.
You're right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really well done. There's like a lot of commentary.
Yeah.
Oh, and the other little Easter egg that you, if you want to call it that you saw the poster.
Yeah, the hate boat.
Instead of the love boat, there's a poster of the hate boat, which would be a cool shirt.
It is. And a cool show. I think I would watch
You'd watch the hate boat?
I'd watch the hate boat. If it were a dramatized thing and not like a cruel forced participation reality show like The Running Man.
So what would take place on the hate boat? What would happen?
I don't know what the hell happens on the love boat. Do people just fall in love? Maybe people get on this cruise and their relationships just fall apart.
I don't want to watch that. That sounds stressful.
The one-liners in this movie are terrible.
Terrible, wonderful.
There's like one or two good ones that are like up to Arnold's standards.
Oh, they're awkward and crap.
Yeah.
That's why they're wonderful. They're not good.
No.
Can you remember any of them?
I can't.
We'll insert one now.
Here is Sub-Zero. Now, Plane Zero.
All the kills are pretty great, I think. I don't know why Dynamo's suit is so vulnerable to the elements.
I don't know why...
If electricity is going to be your weapon of choice to murder people, you probably don't want to be in a highly volatile and not weatherproofed
electrical suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gross. Anyway.
Yes. I like his little car.
Do you really like it? Do you like to laugh at it, or do you like it?
I like to laugh at it.
Okay.
It's very Space Mutiny.
Yes.
Although technically this is before Space Mutiny. I think that's 88.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
1 year. Well, maybe Space Mutiny was made first. And someone saw behind the scenes and they're like, I gotta make one of those little cars.
Oh man, the late 80s were a good year for whoever was making
Those dumb
whatever the
little
fuck
cars.
those things are. Warehouse transports. They're not quite golf carts. I don't know what the hell
I don't know what they
but-
are either. I don't know anything about that sort of thing.
Some guy was like just making them for warehouse people or whatever, and Hollywood came a knocking.
Dune buggies with just like altered bodies.
I think dune buggies are more powerful vehicles.
Beefier?
Yeah. Yeah. The Running Man is just a good time from start to finish. Can watch that movie pretty much anytime. Rented it all the time in the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, it's very like stylized. It's super 80s. Lots of neon lights. And,
Yeah.
like,
Oh
spandex.
yeah. That main stage set is fantastic.
Yeah, it's really fun. I would love those 3 Running Man things.
The neon lights, yeah.
Those are really cool. Cool.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we're actually really even like going to have a conclusion at the end of this conversation. We're just talking about these.
Oh, we'll make a judgment. I'm feeling very strongly that Total Recall is objectively the better movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hell yes.
It is. But I had to be Team Running Man because you insisted on being Total Recall.
Yeah, because it's like one of my all-time favorite movies ever.
Yeah.
I quote from it all the time, just the normal day life things. I mean,
Yeah.
2 weeks. All the time. All the time.
Yeah, Total Recall is way more quotable than The Running Man.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean,
I like them both pretty equally as movies, though.
Really? Equally? Wow. Running Man's good, but it's not Total Recall good.
Yeah.
Just saying. All right, Total Recall. (1990) by director is Paul Verhoeven. He did Starship Troopers and RoboCop.
Ooh.
So some good ones.
Yeah.
This made $261.4 million at the box office.
What was the budget?
I don't remember. A lot less than that.
You didn't write it?
No. I just think I was so amazed at how much it made that
Yeah.
I was just like, who cares how much it costs?
It was this much.
It was a lot less than how much it made. So pretty fucking popular.
Yeah.
I think I read it was like 5th best or highest earning film for that year.
For 1990.
Yeah. Which is like, well, what the hell else even was there? There were a lot of bad movies made in 1990.
Was it like Encino Man and
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I bet Encino Man really blew it out of the
Yeah.
water. This is adapted from a Philip K. Dick story in 1966. We can remember it wholesale was the story. And this film stars, aside from Schwarzenegger, Sharon Stone, Michael Ironside, Dean Norris,
Yeah,
who
yeah.
is a mutant. You probably wouldn't really recognize him
Yeah.
otherwise, because I think they gave him like a big chin prosthetic and stuff. Like it
They
totally changed.
really altered his face.
Yeah, it totally changed the shape of his face completely.
But I didn't know who Dean Norris was until I recognized him as that mutant the first time that I saw him on Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's that guy from Total Recall.
So you recognize him in that? See,
Mhm.
I still find it really hard to even see him
Yeah.
in that.
You can always hear Dean Norris very well.
Yeah, but I don't know, like
His voice is very distinctive, I think.
his head's kind of like a weird vagina head in this.
You got a lot of nerve showing your face around here, Hauser.
Look who's talking.
Vagina face.
Mm-hmm.
And Rachel Ticotin
Mhm.
is the lead female. Oh, and Marshall Bell, who is the Quado guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The guy from A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2.
Mm-hmm. Lycia Naff is the 3-boobed alien who I read she was like really embarrassed about the role
Oh, really?
for like a while. And
Really?
just like, yeah, totally avoided interviews or like talking. She didn't want to talk about it. And I did read that Rob Bottin had like a really hard time building it. Like they had to like scrap it a few times until
Yeah.
he got it looking the way he wanted it to. Which, I mean, to me, like, especially now, it's dated effects, right? Even though they're amazing effects.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
you can just, they just look really
there are things that I have no idea how they pulled off. Like when he takes off that lady mask and it like segments and then he puts it all back. I have no idea how they did that.
Well, like for me, the real star of this movie in general and why like I want to talk about it is Rob Bottin.
Yeah.
That's it.
The effects were fantastic.
I mean, the miniatures.
Yeah, the miniatures are absolutely gorgeous.
Everything about this movie, like
the animatronic heads,
visually, the animatronics, puppeteering, special effects, everything is so fucking cool. Let's see. So they use Industrial Light and Magic, which is of course Lucasfilms, which Bottin actually worked on the very first ever made Star Wars movie.
Yeah. And
he worked on the Cantina scene, which is he actually is one of the aliens in there too. The visual effects also Dream Quest images that they did E.T. and Escape from New York. Both of these companies now are owned by Disney, of course, because you know
they own everything.
Disney owns everything. So yeah, I mean, let's see. Oh, and this was also like considered the last film to do like miniatures to this scale.
Yeah.
Before computer graphics just totally like
really?
took over the
That's
took
interesting.
over everything. This was like the last one. So that's 1990.
Yeah.
Beginning of the 90s and all that stuff. So
miniatures are just fantastic.
Yeah.
I often can't spot them, but even when I do, it's like it blows my mind that people can do such good work.
Yeah,
you know?
I almost always can spot them, and it just makes me really happy to see them in general.
I'm
It's
a fan of the medium. Yeah.
Craftsmanship to me is more interesting than almost anything else on the planet.
Yeah.
So I'm always going to be like biased about all of that stuff because it's just like, this shit's hard to do. It's hard to make it look good.
Yeah, it is. And when you can have it look as good as it does to be in like a big blockbuster movie.
Yeah.
That still to this day looks great.
Yeah.
Like there's one or two scenes I can think of where it's really bad blue screen or whatever they utilized back then. But everything looks fantastic.
Yeah, it was blue screen. Like my least favorite looking thing in this whole movie is the X-ray scene, which like I'm still kind of endeared to just because of The Simpsons.
Hey, Homer.
But I don't know, just like stylistically is not as interesting to me as all of the more handmade. And of course that's like fucking blue screen. That's what it is. So I'm like, bah, it's not just but yeah, the animatronics in this are like phenomenal. I read that the Quado animatronic, which you would never think this, they had 15 puppeteers.
That's crazy.
For that thing.
Was
15!
Was it huge? It must have been huge. Like bigger than they made it.
Well, they had
look.
like a pulley system.
Yeah.
I don't know how that was. I don't know how.
Yeah.
I would love to see. I need to like look more into that and just learn more about it because I want to see how that was done. But like,
I feel like there's definitely scenes of Marshall Bell like wearing a Quado chess piece.
Yeah.
But when you're seeing Quado move and you can see Marshall Bell's like
his head is.
I think that's fake.
A prosthetic. Yeah. So that's probably like just a normal sized body.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a larger scale, but probably not massive.
Mm-hmm.
But just I think the way he wanted it to move, there was some animatronics in the face. This is what we're talking about for this movie. The story's okay. We'll go through it a little bit. This is what I care about when I watch this movie. I watch this movie specifically to see all of these things.
Definitely.
Like, it is, like, Arnold Schwarzenegger is one of my favorites. Like, period.
Right.
Actor. I don't even care in his shittier movies. I love him too. I don't care. I love him. And it's just like a bonus that he was in this movie.
That's true.
You know?
Although this movie does have my all-time favorite Arnold sounds.
Oh man,
Like this
yeah.
movie is just filled to the brim.
Lots
with
of Arnold films.
making weird noises.
Oh man,
Yeah.
Arnold, the Arnold noise, because that's actually one of the things. I don't know if you could say you quote them,
Right.
but you make the Arnold noises like we
People
both do.
know what it is
Yeah,
when you do it. If you go,
yeah, it's the Arnold noises. Okay, and I read that originally Quado was supposed to be growing out of the character's head.
Oh.
And Rob Bottin just didn't like it. So he
Logistically,
scrapped
that
it.
would have been really.
It would have been hard. I don't even know how you would have really done that.
You'd have to linger on an obviously prosthetic head.
I mean, that
with
head
a
would have to
tiny
be
head. Yeah.
It would have to be huge.
Yeah.
Like you'd have no neck. Maybe it would just be like a lump of like from shoulder to shoulder.
Right.
Like, how do you do that and make the person not like look super conspicuous? And then one of the other best things, as we mentioned earlier, is the fat lady. That's what she's credited as. Her name's Priscilla. The
Have you brought any fruits or vegetables onto the planet?
2 weeks.
actress's name was Priscilla Allen. They had to try to match up the body to Arnold's,
Yeah.
which is obviously going to be really, really difficult.
Well, yeah,
general, 'cause
he's tall
he was
and
a giant
and huge. Yeah.
I read that they had a lot of problems with the proportions of everything.
Mhm.
So like when the head piece opened, which I didn't really read anything about how exactly they did that, it was obviously a really complicated thing to do.
Yeah.
That might have been stop motion.
I'm sure it was like
You know.
pixelation or something.
Well, that'd be more stop motion, I think,
Yeah.
because I don't think the actual woman was moving. Pixelation is when a human is moving as stop motion. Anyway, yeah, they had a really hard time with that because of proportion, because of how large he was. I kind of feel bad for that woman just being credited as fat lady.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they could have come up with maybe a better name for her, but
One of my favorite parts of that movie, just for comedy anyway, is when the guard's looking at her ID and he looks up at her and she just goes,
yeah, I love her. Priscilla Allen, you're cool. You're out there still. I hope you are.
memorable scene.
I didn't look her up.
In a movie full of memorable scenes, her scene really stands out.
Yeah, like big time. And like the 2 weeks thing.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Just getting stuck on the 2 weeks over and over again. Super good.
Excuse me?
2 weeks. 2 weeks. Things
are getting hotter. It's not just graffiti. The rebels took over the refinery last night. No tribunium is going out, and it gets worse. The rebels don't.
What is
What else? Well, obviously, like memorable things that Rob Bottin has done, which is The Thing, another one of my like all-time favorite movies ever made.
Oh god.
Also on the top 5, I gotta say.
Yeah, that movie is absolutely phenomenal.
And RoboCop. So he's worked with Paul Verhoeven. They used to work a lot together, and then him and John Carpenter ended up working a lot together too. The other thing that I want to talk about, not really other thing, but like when you discuss movies like this, or you see people discussing movies like this, I just feel like special effects people never get the credit they should, ever. For the amount of work that's put into it, like, I would rather highlight the special effects.
Oh, this movie is definitely a special effects like showpiece.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I would rather talk about the special effects than the fucking movie. Even though the story is great.
The story's cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of full of holes, but, you know.
I mean, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'm not that nerdy, so I don't really give a shit about that. But, like, I don't know. I just watch it and I'm always just like, I wish I could have just been around and seen this. I did read that all of those miniatures are gone.
Oh, that's sad.
They're just gone after the movie,
Yeah.
which sucks. All right, I mean, I feel like everybody knows the plot of Total Recall, but
Yeah.
yeah, we can like talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
I've been talking a lot, so go for it.
Douglas Quaid is a lowly a lowly construction worker Rico, Rico, Rico. He really wants to go to Mars for some reason.
Yeah.
He watches a news clip.
Well, we know the reason, supposedly.
Well, yeah, because he is really an agent.
Yes.
That works on Mars. It is funny though that he watches a news clip of like all these terrorists fighting, the rebels and all that, and he's like, "Man, that looks great, honey. Let's do it. Let's move to Mars."
He was married to Sharon Stone, which is like a fake marriage that was set up, and she's just like, "Fuck no! Like Mars is awful. Let's go somewhere else."
Yeah, you really gotta check out Saturn.
Yeah.
So he goes to recall. I guess he's kind of bored in life, maybe.
Yeah. He just thinks he's meant for more.
Yeah.
He feels like he's better than being a construction worker, I guess.
Right. So he goes to recall to have fake memories implanted. It's like a form of tourism in this world.
Brain vacation.
Brain vacation. So he wants to have like a secret agent adventure memory put into his head.
Mm-hmm.
Demure, aggressive, sleazy. Be honest.
Sleazy.
Turns out he actually is a secret agent because they don't even put the memories in. He flips out before they can do that bit, and
yeah,
things just start to unravel.
Lots of good Arnold noises in that scene too.
Yes, definitely.
Oh man, so good. Arnold, you're the best.
Finds out his wife isn't really his wife. They've only actually been married for 6 months or something like that. He's on the run. Some people chasing him. He finds some guy calls him up and is like, "Here's this briefcase. You told me to give it to you."
There's a hole.
Yeah.
It's a big old fat hole. Like, how would that guy know? Was he just like surveying?
Yeah.
Was that the right word?
Surveilling? Sure, surveilling.
Is that right? I don't know.
I think probably Cohagen sent him because the big twist is that...
Yeah, so that was like true.
Right.
So like, okay, whatever. We'll get to that. Continue.
Yeah.
He pulls that cool pod out of his nose.
He does.
Another great puppet.
There's a video in the briefcase that was given to him of himself as the agent Hauser, who's like, Cohagen has double-crossed you. You got to get to Mars and save people. Get your ass to Mars.
Yeah.
Get your ass to Mars. Get your ass to Mars. Get your ass to Mars.
Which he does.
Yep. Get your ass to Mars.
Rides the Martian subway with the drummer from the band.
Yep. Who is in like a number of movies.
Yeah, you see him every now and then.
Just like little cameos.
Yeah.
That hair. Wispy.
Cohagen is price gouging oxygen. He controls the oxygen on Mars. He's price gouging people.
That sounds like a thing that would fucking really happen.
Yeah.
For real.
There are all these like mutants. I don't know how they became mutants.
They became mutants because he built them cheap domes to live in that didn't release like the radiation properly.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And they gain psychic powers, some of them anyway.
I think that was like the thing with mutants, like most of them had that ability, I guess.
Anyway, we come to find out that Cohagen is hiding this big reactor that some other alien race built 500,000 years ago or whatever.
I always wonder, like, where are those aliens?
Like, why didn't they turn on the reactor that they built?
Yeah, like, what happened?
That makes an atmosphere.
They get called away.
Right.
Something else really important
happened. They got distracted.
Like,
what?
Why? Oh, whatever. It's fine. There's a hole. That's a hole.
Make a hole.
Make a hole.
Yeah. With all that information, I'm sure you can figure out what happens. He beats the bad guys. He creates the atmosphere on Mars and lives happily ever after with his new gal.
Which is the best scene for Arnold noises and
the air gasping scene.
Yeah, when I was like, oh, the air gasping scene, I always feel a little like ill when I watch that because like when I hear people gasping for air, I want to just throw up.
It kind of makes you feel like you're not getting
yes,
enough air.
it really
too.
puts me on edge.
I feel that way when people are underwater in
yes,
movies.
I feel that way too.
Get up, get out of the water.
Yeah.
Get out.
Then you're just like, oh, I can breathe.
Oh wait,
I'm
dumb.
I'm freely allowed to breathe. I'm not in the water.
I'm not in the water.
I'm not on Mars. My eyes aren't bulging out of my head weirdly. I always think too, like, oh, I think you have brain damage now after that.
There's no way. If your
head's like
are being starved of oxygen to the point that your eyes are literally like erecting out of your head.
Your whole head is starting to bulge.
Yeah. You're not going to to be okay.
No.
Yeah.
I think you're
there's no going back.
I think you're going to be a little donkey brained after that. Scrambled brains.
Mm-hmm.
But that's another really good, I don't know, like puppet. I don't know how they did that either. Oh, well, that's just like all air. So they would have expanded. They would have just blown those masks up with air.
Yeah.
That might have been an easier one to make. Not easy, but like, you know. So yeah, I mean, like really the takeaway here is Rob Bottin. He's the star of the show.
Badass.
He is the star of all of the movies he worked on, I feel. But yeah. And he's like a hermit now.
Yeah.
He doesn't have social media, anything of any sort. He doesn't do interviews really. The last thing he worked on was Game of Thrones, I guess, which I've never seen.
Me either.
I don't want to. I don't care about it.
So clearly Total Recall is going to be the winner here. It's just objectively better than The Running Man.
It's just so much more interesting visually.
It is a classic sci-fi action thriller.
Yeah. It's just such an enjoyable movie.
It really is.
There was that shithole garbage heap that was made that we shouldn't even talk about. Total Recall.
Oh, the remake with Colin. I didn't mind it.
Fuck that so hard. I hate everything about it. Everything.
It's fair. Most people do.
I hate it so much.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
I kind of enjoyed it. It was better than the RoboCop remake. You got to give it that.
Well, yeah, but I don't care as much about RoboCop. And the original is, I mean, again, Rob Bottin, and he got a lot of shit for making that movie like as gory and bloody.
That movie, I saw that movie like when I was really young, like 7 or 8.
You shouldn't have.
And the scene where the Red from that 70s show and his gang are like shooting Murphy up before he becomes a RoboCop was like utterly terrifying to me. When he does that like and then shoots off his hand. God. I was like, kept me up. It kept me up for a while.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sad. I mean, what the really famous scene of being like super gory is the
guy who
when they're in the boardroom.
All those squibs.
Yeah.
When the Ed 2000 or whatever it is.
That guy just like gets pulverized. But also those mechs would like, if they fell over, they would scream. Why would you make that a feature? You have to put that in a robot to make that actually happen. Just saying. And that was a pig scream, dude. That disturbed me. I don't like those noises.
I don't like it.
The other thing in Total Recall, because I think this was just a thing with like all Arnold movies were the one-liners.
Yeah.
And so like his really famous one-liner was,
"We're married."
Consider that a divorce.
I prefer I'll see you at the party, Richter.
See you at the party, Richter.
Yeah, great movie, Arnold.
Yeah.
100%. I want to talk about more Arnold movies in the future.
I do too. Arnold is just
Junior. Twins.
Oh, you want to talk about those Arnold
movies?
Jingle All the Way.
Yep. Well, we talk about shitty movies, this is like doesn't make any sense. We just wanted to talk about Arnold movies. Like we shouldn't even be talking about these movies. They have no place on our show. at all. Because
They're not bad movies.
They're good movies.
They're not B movies, yeah.
Yeah.
But
No.
we want to talk about good movies every now and then.
Yeah, there's no continuity to this.
Who gives a
What we
shit? Yeah.
do.
Who cares?
But this is the void.
No. Okay, see ya.
That boy's one mean motherfucker.